Okay, Austin Men's Development. There's a lot of questions on social anxiety, and first thing that I want to say with social anxiety is you you can live a good life. You can live a good life. I know a lot of the life that you're looking at is like, but I want to have women worshiping my dick and fucking me and all the stuff that the pickup community promises to you. You may have that life, but you may not have that life. So there's actually plenty of guys on this board that have had social anxiety or still have it because you'll always have it, and they're able to get over it and live a great sex life with all these awesome, fulfilling, great things. And that's the one weird thing about like results with seduction is that we make it all about this, like, it's got to be this result. When we lose the sight of the overall result of, are we happy and sexually fulfilled, socially satisfied and empowered and feeling good? So I'm saying that you can have that. And that sort of stuff will happen, if you do it in the right ways. Number one thing, we're going to get into a little bit of what happens on the membership site here because there's a lot of resources there, is that you need a community, and because you're on this board, you have it, but you got to start talking to the people. All right, so I wasn't somebody, I have anxiety around socializing, but it has to do with because I was a pickup teacher for so long, and there's just such a weird dynamic and pressure with that, that socializing then becomes abnormal, and you're not, like, you always got to be proving yourself, and it's weird. You may not understand it, but like the recovering PUA dudes get it, and I don't get it much anymore. But that was like in 2010 and 11, that was like crazy. But that being said, like you have guys who can totally relate with you. So guys like Doc, guys like Gary, put the word out there, listen to them, build a dialogue with them, because they may tell you the exact same things that I'm going to tell you, but because they've been there and understand it, they can walk you through the whole thing. And they'll probably, I mean, those two guys are fucking geniuses, and they'll be able to tell you more. So check this out. If you go to the Men's Development membership site, this is what you pay for monthly. So the Austin Men's Development Board is free, but here there's a bunch of different stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to go again. It's actually a bunch of different stuff. I'm going to go to two places. Number one, first, I'll go to call highlights. That's this thing right here. Just click this and then click this. And then we go here. Oh, whoops. It's even more in depth than that. Okay. So this is be social and approaching and meeting women. That's good if you want to learn that. But what you want is social anxiety and approaching anxiety, which are two different things. And here is an access point to where there's a lot of good stuff. Now, there's even more than this. I mean, there's just so much that is beneficial. But so here we have like stuff on social freedom exercises, and this is actually a very old video. This I have another video talking about how it'll fuck you up. So don't do the social freedom exercises. I know Sasha Day Game's a cool guy, but he's not the most stable, insane individual. And you should be able to see that. The fact that people don't see that, like, is weird. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. He's like cool and has a lot of great stuff in his life, but anyway, yeah, so social anxiety, what do you do if you have it? There's also a little webinar. This is actually really good on social anxiety, where you can get on that. This is really good. And this webinar is fucking awesome. I'll just say that. Social anxiety in the daytime. And actually, that's all that we have there in the membership site. There is so much more that we have that just isn't published or isn't publicly published stuff that if you talk about it on the board. And here's the thing, if you're doing work, man, I love you. Like, you're the guy that gets the attention. If you're doing work, if you're complaining, if you're doing work and giving up, that's not work. If you're doing work and trying the things that like Gary or Doc or myself or whoever else points out to you, then you'll get more feedback. But if you're complaining, going, oh, I can't do it because of whatever, then you don't deserve it. All right. And that's it. Like, one of the things that I always got insulted for is funny. Like, I always got insulted for as a teacher. I always said, like, man, one, I'll produce content and give it away. I've always done that. Okay, I remember on a podcast with CJ in 2007, we were talking about that, because we'll produce more. All right, and I still have, you know, almost 10 years later, still from that podcast, I'm still producing more like unique stuff and putting it out there. And anyway, whatever. And then also the other thing too is that if you're doing work, like if you're in front of me, I'll work with you at what I'm good at. I don't give a shit if you're paying me or not. Clearly, if you are paying me, you're going to get a lot more. But man, when people walk up to me on the street or stop me in Whole Foods, or when I'm smoking a cigar, the different variations where people accost me in Austin, fuck, man, I'll totally talk to them and help them out. So if you're doing the work on this board, man, value your life, do it, and you'll get some good advice. And you'll get better advice than I'm going to give you from those guys who've experienced this. But also, you have this area where it's like approaching and what you need to know, and a lot of good stuff. I mean, this is great. Even if you have social anxiety, this stuff on approaching, dude, like disabilities and meeting women, dude, there's some fucking awesome shit on here because there's always excuses that people have where they feel they can't do this, the good and the bad. This is bringing up like negative topics, and this is just stuff that we recorded in the last year. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of it, and these will go on for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and so on. But what I also want to show you is there's a couple courses. If we go here and we go into courses, we go into social dynamics, there's going to be two courses, the instant connection course and the Formula 69 course. What I want to show you guys is actually the instant connection course. And if you have social anxiety, what you really need to do is you need to be watching this. You need to be watching lesson 1 on meeting people and starting a conversation. And the whole point of this is that we meet people and start a conversation in the most normal way possible and taking the anxiety out. This could be with a man. This could be with an older lady. This could be with somebody you're not attracted to. This could be with kids hanging out or whatever. But you're starting a conversation where you're asserting yourself and being you. And then also learning a very simple and easy to use structure. And basically, like you just watch the video. Click on it here. This one's 46 minutes. There's 4 videos to it, which will actually teach you a whole system on how you can start introducing sex and sexuality into what you're learning. And basically, like, you can also download these slides. And so when you download the slides, you get all this stuff, and it tells you what you can say. And let me just say how important this is, and see we address social anxiety here and what you should do. Is that let me address what you should do. This is a really great course. And if you're a beginner, even if you don't have social anxiety, you should, I mean, it's fucking good, man. Gee, what's wrong with you people? Why aren't you doing this thing? So we give you all the different things of what you can do, what you should start out with. 3 things that you should do: smile, be comfortable, and touch. So you might even be thinking those are too hard for you, and this is where you should listen to Doc and Gary on it. But 3 ways to start a conversation: say hello, ask a question based on you, or make a statement based on you. And those are things that you can, man, making a statement is one of the ways where Doc is always saying to start with social anxiety. Really a genius when it comes up with it. And this really came from him. But just a low level thing where you could do that right now. We give you obviously examples of exactly what to say, and I help you out with the delivery, at least my delivery. You'll have your own, but in the video part of the series where you can follow along. But we also give you more and more variations, and we also give you the counters, because what happens when you get resistance and they're like, well, why are you asking me that? Or they give me a funny look, or I say hello and they just sit there, and what happens after the conversation? How do you counter that? How do you actually talk about those things? How could we possibly even transition when we do get that silent time? So all of this stuff, the stuff that you fear with social anxiety, is really, really thought out for you in this course. But here's the thing, okay? If you have social anxiety, even though this is all thought out for you, the fear and the questioning and the doubt is going to override so much. If you don't, this is great, because it's all thought out for you. And it's not just lines. They're lines that you are learning in this video of how to customize. And we go, probably one of the best concepts of this is learn how to end all your conversations. That will really empower you. If you have social anxiety, you need to get there. It may not be the first step you take, but eventually that's something that you got to hammer. And man, just a lot of good stuff covered. And then of course it says coming up next is going to be rapport and intent. And in that one, you get more variations of conversation. I don't care if it takes you 2 months to go through this course, 3 months, whatever. But if you're going through this course, which for a long time, the Sexual Life, we gave away for free. So you could have access to it even now. Now it's only found on the membership site, along with something like Formula 69, which is a way more thorough course and 100 times more badass. But those things, like, man, work on them, use those tools, post on this board, the free board, the stuff that you have so much access to, and really better your life. You'll get a wall of feedback. Again, if you're complaining, if you're saying you can't do it or why you can't do it, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, like, look, I'm trying it and I'm fucking up and I don't understand why it's not working. How can you help me? Here's my situation. Steve, help. Alumni help, and you will get so much help. So if you're failing, That's fine. You just got to be trying. Even if you're doing the stupidest thing, failing, you might get called out on it. They might say, dude, don't do that. That's dumb. But that's so worth it to get the feedback of just in the wealth of guys who've done this, who've had the same problem you have. I know you might think you're different and gotten past it. That's amazing. Listen to them, listen to what they say, and be honest about who you are and what's going on. And you're going to get a lot of awesome stuff. So also the cool thing about this is if you are on the membership site, you get access to the calls, and the calls are you can actually tells you how to access the Sunday call here, and oftentimes we invite you onto our Wednesday night call. And we're probably going to do another call that is dedicated for kind of everybody in our entire TSL community, which is pretty big, and Austin Men's Development community, which is really big, where we're going over a lot of the different challenge stuff that you can also access here on the membership site. In any case, guys, I will talk to you later. Hopefully this video was helpful. And man, there's really no excuse. It's just, do you want to work at it or do you not want to work at it? And I understand if now's not the time, but do not make the excuse, because we have all the information and support system here that you need. And what's crazy is nobody else has that. They don't have the quality of information that we have. It's like a bunch of crap. And then you don't have the support system. Nobody comes close to that. So use it, do it, or you're making the choice to not, which is fine. Okay. You'd still be here. All right. Later.